Hello viewers and welcome to the intro before the intro for Geordie Space Program. What's going on here, Gonzo?
It's very, very hard to try and summarise this, but in short, what's happened is Kerbal Space Program, I'm sure most of the people that are playing it are aware of this, has just came out with version 24. And version 24, also known as First Contract, has introduced a completely new way of playing the game, which involves a reputation system, involves money, and also the science that we all know and love. As a result, the previous episodes that we've recorded in preparation for our series are now kind of obsolete. Do you want to explain why that is, Ewok?
Well, absolutely. I mean, we've recorded 3 episodes of what we were calling Geordie Space Program, The Next Generation, in which we did all sorts of funky stuff and got off to a pretty good start. But we can't really continue with that now because the new contracts and the new financial budgeting system have kind of ruined our save in the extent that we've got high-level contracts based on where we are on the science tree, but we don't have any budget to buy a ship.
Yeah,
to
effectively,
meet those contracts.
We're going to have to try and go into planetary using 10 grand, which obviously I'm sure some people can, we can't. So what we're doing is a little bit of a kind of added bonus while we're getting ready with the new contract system and the new series. We're going to put these up as a little kind of mini-series to tide you guys over. I know people are clamouring for more Geordie Space Program. And
so this is Geordie Space Program, the aborted episode, season 2.5. This will tide you over until we actually get some time to sit down and record with the new update.
The nearly next generation, if you will.
So we will see you with the proper next generation soon, but here is a video from the aborted miniseries.
Enjoy!
Hello viewers, you're watching the GonzoEwok show with our flagship series,
Geordie Space Program!
My name, as ever, is Ewok.
And my name, as ever, is Gonzo.
And this would be episode 2, and we're raring to get going. We're hoping to have a little bit more science farming in this episode.
Yeah, not to the same extent of what we were doing last time, where we did a lot of spamming on the old space centre.
Absolutely, we're going to farm science, but we're going to hopefully make it a little bit more entertaining in the way that we're doing it. Going to maybe visit a few more exciting locations. I think I'll just quickly knock something together for us to fly around in.
Cool. Using the new cockpit that we just unlocked.
Yeah, might as well use it. We've just got it.
I love it. I tend to put that on most of the things that I build. I like it, and I like jumping into the IVA mode and looking out of it. And because it looks gnarly when it's flying.
It's also got quite a high crash tolerance, actually. So if your ship lands and explodes, it can often survive where everything else fails and goes boom.
So how are you going to put this together then? You should put them on sideways, so it looks a little bit more like some sort of like badass spaceship. Or 3, that'll do.
You mean that way?
No, I meant the engines having them mounted at the sides, having the engines mounted. Yeah, like don't put the engines on sideways. You'd make a bloody Catherine wheel.
I'm confused. You mean like that?
Yeah, I thought you were going to do 2. I thought we'd have like 2 at either side, so it was kind of like parallel to the cockpit. But 3 will do nicely.
No, I'm just doing it this way. This is not an efficient design whatsoever, but it kind of looks cool, doesn't it?
Yeah. So where we're planning on firing this thing off to?
I'm going to anyone who's played Kerbal before, to a great degree, will probably know about this. But I'm going to show them a little Easter egg that the developers have included.
There's a lot of them around, but there's some that are quite close to the space centre, isn't there?
Oh, that is wonky. That is wonky as hell. That is not going to be a successful ship. Did you notice the wonk there?
I did.
It wasn't quite lined up.
Oh, excuse me for a second.
Oh, that was Gonzo holding a sneeze in there. Bless him, he's not very well, but he still said he was good to record, good to go.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I've noticed on my social media feeds, everybody's complaining of having weird vertigo-like symptoms. And I'm not sure if it's just like, I'm feeling sympathy for the people that I've been speaking to that have got it, but I've felt the same sort of last night and through most of today now while we're recording as well. It's a bit of a strange one, but knocked off.
Check if there's a name. Should I call it the key...
Call it the Easter egg hunt.
Oh, the Easter egg hunt.
And then the way that you say that, if you were so inclined, could come across sounding a little bit dirty.
It could come across sounding a little bit rude, so please don't say that one quickly in front of any children that may be around.
Yeah.
I shall need a decoupler because I don't want to try and land this whole thing.
Yeah, we got into trouble for some of the blue language we were using in our videos when one of your young relatives was watching it.
Yes, that would be my my nephew Cameron. My sister was not impressed when she decided to let him look at his uncle's YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I think that's probably enough parachutes.
Yeah, that'll do it. I mean, it looks ugly as sin, but it'll do the trick.
And we're going to put some science on this. I almost forgot that. What's the point of doing any sort of science farming if you don't take any scientific equipment with you?
Nice. The old tried and tested way of doing it, eh? Science Junior, couple of goos on the side.
I'm going to stick 3 goos on it to stick
Nice.
with the whole.
And are you going to send Jeb, or are you going to give somebody else a go in the cockpit here?
What did I just do? Yeah, that's fine. How about we give Bob a go?
Alright.
Oh, Bill. We'll give Bill a go.
Nice.
Because he is both brave and stupid.
We will need some more astronauts in the future, but we'll not get them until we're really keen to start to look at going orbital and starting to do stuff where we maybe don't want to send the orange coats out for.
I feel like I'm forgetting something here. Ooh, legs. Legs.
Aye, they
Get some
can
legs
help.
on it. Will that Science Junior work with that stuck on the front?
Probably.
Probably.
It usually works when you've got like a battery or something like that stuck on, or like other bits of science equipment. And if it doesn't, well, just shout at you and we'll have to do it again.
Ah, yes, I know what I've forgotten. The fact that there is no way that that will ever stand up on the runway like that.
If you launch it quick, it'll be fine.
I'll just,
I forgot we got those.
Yeah, we just unlocked them, so...
We're recording this straight off the back of the first episode. We've just jumped straight back into it. Raring to go. So it's only been 5 minutes for us since we unlocked those, but I'd kind of forgot.
Probably be a week for you guys if we stick to our usual timetable.
Yeah, usually we'll put up, most series tend to go up on like a weekly basis on a Wednesday or a Saturday. And we'll occasionally do the odd one-off in between, don't we, just to put up a few extras every now and again, just something that maybe we don't want to do as a series, but just as something that's interesting or worth looking at.
I probably don't want to go full throttle, given where I'm going. I'm aiming for this island over here. I'll quickly get on the map. So here's a KSP, and I'm aiming for this little landmass here.
Yeah.
That's my destination. So probably just giving the game away for anyone knows what is there.
People would have known exactly what we were going to do if they've played before, but it's worth going to. It's worth having a look at.
I believe I should have enough fuel to make it there. I've never actually flown a rocket like this. The only one time I've been there was my first attempt at building a plane. I took a plane there, so this is a little bit wobbly. Let's get some speed on though.
Yeah, it's probably one that's obviously much better suited for a plane going over, but unfortunately we haven't got the parts to do that, and we do kind of want to see it. We'll get some extra science while we're there, I'm sure.
You see, part of me thinks I should force the game to go into fast motion to make this a little bit quicker, but because this is proving to be a little bit wobbly to control...
Yeah, it'll end up spinning out and you'll end up ditching...
it was wobbly because I forgot to turn the SAS module on.
Hang on, Jebediah's in the cockpit?
Oh, whoops, I mustn't have properly saved it before I stuck on the launch pad. I mean, that happens sometimes.
So really, we're still making the same errors as ever, it's just we're being more methodical with the little daft things that we're doing.
I'm not sure we're going to make it if you look at the fuel situation.
I'll be fine as long as you eject them quickly, because then that'll lighten your load up, because those engines can weigh a fair bit. I mean, the empty fuel tanks won't. Ditch them. Oh, first explosion.
That was one of the problems we were having when I was pressing space and it wasn't going. I found out what that is. If you're hovering over the stages,
Right.
it locks space out, so it doesn't do anything, as you can see.
It's quite clever.
I'm so glad they haven't changed that in the latest build, otherwise that would have been an awful moment.
Would have been a good one for Geordie Space Program.
We're not going to make it. We're not going to make it, but you can
Tell
see
yourself
there.
up, we're going to glide down onto it. Something beautiful.
We're not. We've got far too far to go.
Fine.
You see, it's
No.
pulling
Oh, well.
devastatingly short.
Second episode, first failure.
Oh. Oh, I put a torque wheel on. Right, let's get some science done while we're in the air, while we quickly can.
Yep. Not always lost.
So we can certainly get some flight-based science out of it.
We are coming down quick, mind. Oh, I suppose because we haven't opened
The
the
parachute
parachute.
hasn't...
Yeah, for a
hasn't
heart-wrenching moment I thought they had, and I thought somehow we were still coming down at 100 metres a second.
Open the legs, for whatever use that'll be. Okay, poorly designed ship.
Didn't pull itself apart when they deployed. It's always a bonus.
And let's just speed things up and get out of
Well,
here.
the Easter egg's just over there.
You can
Just
make
about
it out.
say it,
Just
aye.
about make it out.
I think that's a good way of doing it. We're not spoiling it for anybody who hasn't been there, but if you've been playing Kerbal Space Program and you've never been across to this island, go across there.
Get yourself over there. Have a walk
look.
around. We'll not bother trying it again, eh?
Nah.
We'll just go and do
Leave it for
something
people.
new.
I mean, well, we've seen it, so that's sort of mission accomplished. There go the legs, there goes the...
Oh, we're going to have to manually recover every part of the bloody goo canisters and everything to get all the science in.
Is that right?
So we'll recover what we can. I'd rather we do the recoveries as we go anyway, because
Yeah.
last time we ended up with so much debris floating
Yeah,
around.
just crap spread all over the map. We kept clicking on the wrong things, and I think that was part of the reason why we had a lot of stuff going on, to be honest. You know, where we're getting these weird messages and the lines were going ballistic on the nav map.
I do wish there was a recover all button. It would make it a lot easier.
Aye. But that's quite good. It's the first craft that's properly fell apart. We had our first explosion there. I'm happy these are milestones that we needed to achieve.
Mystery view observation flying Kerbin, so that's us recovering the broken goo canisters.
Yep.
They're intact, they're just not part of the ship anymore.
Be a bit wet.
What do you think? Should we go into space and land at the pole?
Yeah, I think why not? Let's do a quick polar jaunt. I think that the poles are good ones to visit, and if you fancy just doing something really relaxing on KSP, just build yourself a little plane and fly yourself over there. Have a bit of a laugh while you're just drifting over. Usually I'll stick like a podcast or something on in the background, fly my way over. But we can't really do that in a video because that would take like a good hour to fly your way over there.
Indeed, if we did do it in a video, we would have to force fast motion on it.
Aye.
I'm just going to send the Magic Penguin over there.
Yeah, why not?
But I'm going to replace these engines with ones that are a little bit more manoeuvrable.
Now, hang on a second. Are penguins part of the Arctic or the Antarctic? They're part of the Antarctic, aren't they?
Oh no, you're just embarrassing me because I don't know.
I'm just trying to... I had this thought this morning. I was sitting on the toilet this morning, and this is the thought that occurred to us, and it's been bugging us, and I hadn't thought about it all day until just now.
I think polar bears are north and penguins are south.
That's what I thought, because you get like bears up in Canada and North America and Scandinavia, don't you?
Yeah.
So it would make sense. I cannot see why you would have bears in North America and then randomly the South Pole.
So let's go south then, is what you're saying.
Kind of, although...
Because it's the Magic Penguin.
Yeah, it's the Magic Penguin, send it home. The only thing is, I think it's quite tricky to get to the South Pole. In fact, I don't think I've ever been to the South Pole.
I've been to the South Pole.
Oh.
I flew there. They both count as one biome though, it's just a polar biome.
Well, take your pick.
I'll go south. I mean, how can you possibly think it's any harder to get there than the North Pole? In one you
I
go north
think
and
just
one you
because
go south.
the first time I
think
ever tried to do a
The
polar
distance
flight...
to the South Pole is actually a little smaller, I think.
Um,
And it's a larger continent.
well, let's go to the South Pole, because I've never seen it. It's an interesting one. I mean, with the biomes being the same, I think it's purely just because the first time I ever tried it, I tried to go to the South Pole and failed miserably. Then I tried to go to the North Pole and I made it, so naturally if I want to go to the poles, that tends to be where I go.
Fair enough, that's where you head. Well, we'll take it to the south and you can see it. I
Nice.
believe there's an Easter egg at the North Pole that I've never seen. Have you heard about that one?
Is it Santa's Village?
No, it's not Santa's Village.
In that case, no. No, I haven't.
Would you like me to say what it is? Do you think our audience will mind?
Spoiler alert,
Okay.
because I do want to
Spoiler alert. Alert?
A lot.
Spoiler alert.
Jesus, you
Spoiler
went
alert.
very Northumbrian there.
If you don't want to know, please skip forward maybe 3 minutes into the video, and you have 5 seconds to do that. 5, 4, 3,
Just
2.
get on with it.
Yeah, apparently it's a crashed flying saucer, and
Oh,
it's
right.
right
Yes.
on the northern pole itself.
Right, okay.
That's what I've heard. I've never seen it myself.
Aye,
My
it's
landing
been
isn't quite that accurate that I could fly directly to it.
It's something we can maybe pick up at a later date if we fancy, if we just want to set ourselves a little mini challenge run or something. Maybe do it as like maybe not part of the main series, but just something to mess around with.
It seems to be a far more ineffective launch than last time we did this. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, it's terrible, mate. You're getting nowhere.
Like, I'm
You haven't,
wobbling all over the place because I didn't have the SAS on, so I thought it was a little bit wobbly to handle. I was constantly doing little...
Is
little
one of your
course corrections
engines not
there.
firing?
Oh yeah, the centre engine's not firing. The staging has changed from last time. That's unfortunate because I don't have any decouplers on the side.
Well, we're not going anywhere.
We're just going to be carrying around a lot of dead weight.
So hang on, this is the second episode of our flagship new series.
I wouldn't worry about it. I still think there's...
We didn't show
Well,
you that
of course
Easter
it
egg,
is
and we're
there.
not getting to the South Pole by the looks of it.
We'll get the South Pole, it's fine. I'm just going to skip ahead.
Get up, and then because there's much less resistance, obviously, when you're out of the atmosphere.
Yeah, I'll take it to about 65,000, then drop out and have a little play.
You're a smart man.
So, yeah, we've got a long way to go. So, we still want to burn up, but we don't want to burn too far up.
Nice.
See,
You
we've
can
still got
you
plenty
can see
of
the
fuel.
difference in the distance you can travel there once you get out the atmosphere. That's really key, isn't it? Get yourself out the atmosphere as quick as possible, and then get yourself back in.
Okay, we're going quite slow now because we're dragging all that dead weight and we've only got one engine firing.
It's alright, we'll get there with plenty. So aim for the far side, really, and let the atmosphere do the rest.
Absolutely.
Nice.
We're coming in high. Well, that's good because it means we'll be coming down at a steep angle, which means we've got to worry less about the atmosphere slowing us down because we'll be coming down.
At a sharp angle.
Oh. Yeah, that'll do absolutely fine, I would think.
So that's quite a distance where I'm coming away there. 230 odd. 5 minutes to periapse. Oh, apwaps even. Cool.
I'm tempted to add a little manoeuvre node there. And just bring us over this way slightly.
You do what you fancy. Will that count as like high over curbing?
No,
Oh,
I don't think it will. I think you've got to be quite a way out for that.
And the signs we really want to say for landing at the pole, don't we?
So, I mean, I don't have to be super accurate about this. I'm just
Like freehanding.
just freehanding, yes, as you put it. Now, where on earth is my manoeuvre node?
Be around somewhere.
Should be over here.
So of course, patch 24 is due to be hitting Kerbal Space Program at some point soon.
Is it? You keep track of these things a lot better than I do.
Yeah, I like to keep up to date with a lot of the news feeds as they come in as well. And because we'll play a lot of this, I tend to follow its development sort of fairly closely. It's this, Zomboid, a couple of others. Following quite a bit of stuff coming out about Binding of Isaac Rebirth as well. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think there's like a firm ETA on it yet, but patch 24 is due to be coming out in the not too distant future. They've also ran in conjunction with the World Cup, the Kerbin Cup, where they released a few bits and pieces to download, where basically you can have a game of football in space, or you get the parts where you can get, I think, a goal and a ball, and you've got to try and score an imaginative goal in space. There's a little competition. With the developers
there's
nice.
the landmass.
The developers have also, I'm not sure if they're Mexican, I think there's a couple of the guys are Mexican, so they're also giving away free copies of Kerbal Space Program for every goal that Mexico scores in the World Cup.
Oh, right.
Although, to be honest, I think the World Cup's well through now, and I'm not even sure if Mexico came through. I'm not a big follower of football.
Yeah, the World Cup will be over by the time we put this video up. Actually,
Yeah, well,
we're at the sort of last stages of it now. aren't
it's
we?
well through. Well, it's well into the finals anyway.
Boom, 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 boom. Since we're over the pole already, I might as well try and cancel out some of that velocity because we are coming in fast. This is going to kill it as well, of course.
You can see it just dropping off there. See the G's building up. Would not want to be on the receiving end of that.
I'm a little bit worried that it still looks like we might overshoot. That'll be the second disaster.
Well, if we ditch it.
Good point. If I get the shootout nice and early.
Mind your head.
Yeah, I don't want that to land on us.
That'll Oh, it's thinking about it.
It's all good. I want the shooter to deploy now.
Right, so we're going to have a very slow drift down to the ground there. No, that'll be fine. There we are.
Right, so I think we're pretty confident that we're going to land.
Get the legs out. Speed though.
So it is going to be a slow landing, and that's because I was worried we were going to overshoot, so I got the parachute out early to cancel that relative velocity. But here we are on the polar, or the
South Pole.
Antarctic ice caps.
Sending the penguin back. Nice.
Where did the ship go? Shot off right in the distance, didn't it?
It's out there somewhere.
Well, we've got approximately 34 seconds of awkward, stilted slow down to fix.
Nice.
Fill. Nice.
Well,
so, how are you today?
I'm not too bad, apart from obviously this weird sense of vertigo. It's got us feeling a bit knocked off.
I won £50 in a raffle today.
It's not
I was
bad.
very pleased. It was an excellent way to
I
end.
round off a Friday, round off a working week, yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, we're recording this on a Friday.
Mm.
Yeah, the perfect way to end Friday, really. Going into the weekend with an extra 50 notes in the pocket.
Not bad at all.
Complain.
Aye, very canny. No, how am I doing? There was some stuff that I was going to talk about and I've totally forgotten. There was some bits and pieces going on.
I'm sure that's
It wasn't
very good for our
important.
viewers to know.
It wasn't particularly important, wasn't particularly exciting. I just thought, I'll talk about that.
Have you considered following GonzoEwok on Twitter? At GonzoEwok, or perhaps even looking us up on Facebook.
No, that's not what I was going to talk about.
GonzoEwok.
I thought about it in terms of, because it's Geordie related, and I thought for Geordie Space Programme, you know what came in the post today? Alan Robson's book of ghost stories.
Alan, when you say came in the post, that implies that you ordered it.
I bought it for a penny. I bought it for a penny and it got sent. I read it when I was a kid. If anybody who lives outside of the northeast of England might not know, but there's a guy called Alan Robson. He's a DJ who's been on the radio, Metro Radio, for years and years and years and years, and he does a program.
Does the Night Owls?
He does a late night program called Night Owls, which generally involves drunks calling in after the pubs chuck out. But he also does sort of like ghost stories. He always has like a grisly tale and tells like local ghost stories. And it must have been a good maybe 10, 15 years ago, probably longer than that actually. He brought out a book.
Epic fail.
Shores.
We're too close. It's counting as the Shores. We're going to get absolutely nothing from this.
Oh well, just do it and send it back. Not really much we can do about that. It's a little bit there.
That's a shame.
Well, in any event, back to Alan Robson, which is more important than not collecting science next to the water. Maybe some snow count. Probably not. But yeah, in any event, I picked up a copy. My cousin had a copy of his book. He brought out a collection of all of these ghost stories. And I'm not somebody that believes in ghosts, but I do like a good ghost story. So when I was younger, I picked up a copy of his book and it scared the living crap out of us. And I was just randomly thinking about it. I noticed actually on YouTube that there's a fan site which has uploaded some of the little clips of some of these ghost stories. So I was having a listen to them. I was like, that reminded us about the book. So yes, it landed today. I ordered it a few days ago. Only one copy that I could see that was in stock anyway, and I've managed to get it, which I'm very pleased with. For a penny. Can't beat it.
I'm lost for words.
Is that all you've got to say about my literary success here in grabbing a copy of that old book?
I don't know why you would want it.
It's mint. It's a really, really good book. Really, it's like there's ghost stories from like Asherton, Cramlinton, Morpeth, Forest Hall, all sorts, all the local areas. He's got ghost stories, and it's nice because they're all local. That's why I like it. Loads from like Northumberland. Whoa!
Okay, that's what happens when you try and force time warp. The physics go mental.
Poor Bill. It's always Bill. It's always Bill this happens to.
I thought we could quickly go back to the poll by doing the forced time warp, but I don't think that's going to be a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take it to these grasslands.
We have talked about longer term. One of the concessions we're going to make is to sort of like F9 and F5 the game, so we'll quick save and then quick load if needs be, but we're not going to do that for sort of our errors. We're only going to do that if the game gives us some sort of bug, which happened a couple of occasions.
I'm having a little bit of trouble here, Gonzo. I don't mean to alarm you.
Ditch it. Get rid of it all. Just land. Just land. For the love of God, just land. Just ditch everything. Whoa, you bloody Nora.
As you can see, we're trying to tone the swearing down and keep the programme a little bit more family friendly. I think it's even better saying things like
Like bloody Nora. I use bloody Nora anyway. That's a good one.
Fiddlesticks. Oh well, we'll get some signs from this.
For fiddlestick's sake, did you see that fiddlesticking pile of fiddlesticks that just flew by when exploded?
I did, yeah. I think we learned a valuable lesson, which is Kerbin's Shores. Oh, why is it Kerbin's Shores? It's clearly not.
You need to
Kerbin's
go
Shores.
further. You need to go further and not do that.
Okay, quick one to the mountains, and then I might do something in space.
Aye, why not?
But yeah, the lesson learned there is do not, under any
force the time warp.
circumstances, force the time warp when you've got a rocket consisting of multiple parts.
It's good lessons for being in a nightclub as well. You should
Yes,
never force a
yeah.
time warp. You should let it happen organically. You should never force a time warp. And we're up. It's lovely seeing the flag, actually. I just saw it in between some of the flames and the exhaust there. It's good to see.
I mean, if we zoom in, we should have some...
Yeah, not burning your engine again.
No, I'm just doing the solid fuel ones at the moment.
Alright.
But if that's what you mean, I'll drop it into there.
Cool.
So we're going to head north because there's some mountainous regions up there.
Aye.
It'd be worth a little explore. Get ourselves a little bit of science. We've got absolutely no science so far, which is pretty poor going for the episode.
Aye.
But I'll do this. I'll go to the mountains and then let's see if we can do an orbit. How about that then?
Aye. Let's. I think we should probably do it with Jed, providing he survives this little jaunt. Ditch him. Nice. Wobbly. But yeah, maybe do it with Jeb just so he's got the brownie points of being the first Kurgan
In orbit.
to do orbit. Orbit the planet.
Whoa!
What are you doing?
I think I accidentally brushed my hand across the keys.
So I suppose, again, if you haven't watched any of the previous two series, Ewok has a horrible habit of hitting space when he's not supposed to, and I think that's the first time it's happened for the next generation.
It certainly is.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
We're not going to get anything here, so let's just...
Do it again!
And
Ignominy!
And yep, you can use the time warp and the parachute now,
Aye.
which
Yeah, because we've lost people with that before.
certainly
I think some of our first losses were because of that. I wonder if you can make people get out of the... Oh, there go the legs. Yeah, it's still a little bit dodgy in landing in water, but that's a long running thing.
It is.
Water's a dangerous thing to land in.
Right, spacey.
Solid.
Space.
We'll do the mountains again at some other point. We really need to hit all biomes and Kurgan. We need to do the same on the moon and Memnus. I think.
But we don't want to do them all in one episode because that's
Aye.
just...
Yeah, of course. Be cramming a bit too much in, and then you wouldn't get any lovely banter about things like Alan Robson or...
I'm sure everybody's glad that they've heard about Alan Robson. Look him up on YouTube. That's the
it's
beauty.
worth
That's the
doing.
beauty these
He's
days.
got lovely dulcet tones.
There's no such thing as sort of geographical barriers anymore in this sort of thing.
I mean, you say that, but as far as I can see, there's only like 7 or 8 videos that feature him on YouTube, which is insane when you think about it.
But
The amount of stuff that's on YouTube.
That's 7 or 8.
Yeah, if you don't live in the northeast, or if you do live in the northeast and for some reason you don't know what Night Owls is, I suppose if you're quite young, you might not. I think it's still going on.
There's quite a lot of people who don't listen to the radio. I don't particularly listen to the radio.
I don't as a general rule. There's some stuff that gets played on like local radio on a Saturday. Does a lot of like punk stuff that I like listening to. Sometimes if I'm in the car or at home with the missus, put that on. But yeah, I mean the thing is I don't tend to listen to metro radio very much either. But I do like a bit of Alan Robson, but it's more the nostalgia factor because he always used to do the really good Halloween specials. You get people calling in and like live seances and crazy stuff like that. I think most people of a certain age living in the northeast, shall we say, have probably had some dealings with Night Owls. Did you used to listen to it when you were younger?
Bits and bobs.
Aye. See, that's it. You never need to... Not saying you have to be a big fan of it or anything, but a lot of people have came across it. Interesting.
But we're going to need a lot of power because we're not ideally set up.
Yeah, you're going for it, mind.
Look at the angle snap on.
Aye. So these for some solids, I take it.
Absolutely are. A little bit of asymmetric building here.
It's always tricky to get right. That this is where you usually end up getting a lot of kind of sort of roll coming in or slight instability. We'll see. Maybe a little touch higher than that one. Aye. That looks about right. Maybe snap it one bit across to the right, maybe.
No, I think in terms of... Yeah, absolutely.
Go on. There we are. That looks about right. Aye, that'll do nicely.
This will handle like a pig.
Always
so
do.
we've got all them, we've got all them, we've got all that. That needs to be on a separate stage. I think I'll build a little manoeuvre stage there, just in case we need it.
Alright.
So that'll just be a fuel tank and a small engine, and that could help with the orbital stage.
Nice.
That does not want to be there. That would be awful. Goes there. Where's my engine? There's my engine. I think that's right, isn't it, stage-wise?
Yeah, that'll do the trick. Probably. I wasn't really paying much attention. I was still thinking about Anne Robson, to be honest.
You really are his biggest fan, aren't you?
No, not particularly. I'm ecstatic that that book landed, and I'm more ecstatic that I only paid a penny for it.
It is good getting books for a penny.
Aye.
I've managed to pick a few books up for a penny.
I had to pay £2.80 for the postage.
Well, that's how they get you, isn't it?
Aye, got his hour a barrel. But it's still £2.81 for a book, and it's a good sized book. That'll keep us busy for a while.
We'll call
And
this
it's
one
got
the
nice
Magic
old-
Paul, I bet.
Nice. Cool,
Since,
I like it.
Since we had the
Good enough.
discussion.
But I do like it because it's an old book as well. You know that smell that old books have?
What, musty?
Aye, but like a comfortable musty smell, not like a kind of you've left your clothes in the washing machine after washing them for too long.
Actually, I want all the engines going off at once, yeah. Because those aren't going to do
Yeah.
much on their own.
There's a lot of weight with it.
And...
Go.
Everything okay?
Aye, try not to die.
Whoa! Okay, that's got some poke to it, doesn't
It's
it?
got some wobble to it as well. That'll probably do it.
What I forgot to do was put any supporting struts on.
That will probably be alright.
I don't want to lean too much, because if I lean too much, when I drop them off, they'll smash into the rest of the ship. But my god, this is going up like a shot.
Well, it would be very nice if we can achieve something in this this video, considering we're only like 2 episodes into the new series, and so far we've launched 3 things, none of which, or 4, or possibly even 5
I'm losing
things now.
control. I'm losing control of the ship.
Oh, you know, I thought things were going to be different this time. In my heart of hearts, I shouldn't have got myself so excited. Now, right,
That is
get rid
not
of it.
good.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Look at it, it's like it's galloping. Bloody hell. I love the way it's moving, it's quite hypnotic.
I best stop or it will kill him.
Oh, no, don't stop. I'm enjoying it. Look at it. You've unleashed Cthulhu. Loose. In the lower atmosphere. Get away from it. Right, so we're going to get more from the water than by the looks of it then.
And there's nothing to be gained from the water.
Nah. Cthulhu returns to the depths. Look at him. Keep your eye on him. Down he comes. I assume he's in the depths now.
Whoa! Okay, Jebediah Kerbin's dead.
Right.
I'm not sure exactly why the parachute didn't go off.
I think it probably did, and I think there was just a little bit of a physics glitch.
So Jeb is dead to the glitch.
I think that deserves a swear word. I'll be honest, I know we said that we weren't gonna swear.
I don't know what you're worried about. It's all fine. Jeb sacrificed his life for the good of the program.
Well, he didn't really. He strapped himself to Cthulhu, and then it all went horribly, horribly belly up, and now he's dead. He probably will come back. It seems to be the way that things happen around here, that we'll kill the Kerbals, and they'll come back as quick as we can kill them.
Yeah, so I'll just patiently wait for him to come back. And in the meantime, I'm going to attach some support and struts to the magic pole lever.
I can't believe that. I'm not sure if people will be able to pick up the devastation in my voice that that's happened. Things were going to be so different this time. Things were going to work. Things were going to be done sensibly. We were going to achieve things. We could have been contenders. And then this is what's happened.
There we go.
Now it looks like Frankenstein's monster. We're building some ugly rockets that have killed, Kerbin heroes here.
We need a bit more manoeuvrability on it. Was I using the wrong engines?
Need to play around with it a bit. Cool. Well, that was
It was fine.
horrible.
It was what we call a trial run.
It wasn't a trial
this
run.
Is, this is
There's no such thing as a trial run because we're playing Iron Mode. He's dead forever.
See, this is going to be much nicer. Everyone will be happy.
Look how sad Bill is. You've killed his brother. Look, and he's like, well, I'm gone, but I don't see the point anymore. Look, I can see his remains 7 kilometres away.
Yeah, how come that survived splashdown?
So what we've learnt is that the physics around time acceleration are much more reliable, but they're still not
But they're still
entirely
not
reliable.
100% reliable. They still can make your parachute just rip off your ship for no apparent reason.
Well, we've learnt a lot there then.
Yeah, it's a harsh lesson. But the reason I'm not as devastated as you is because, while I accept culpability for the ship falling apart in the way that it did, I don't think there was anything we could have done about that parachute glitch.
It still happened though. It happened and it happened to us.
It did, but it's okay. He'll come back. And even if he doesn't come back, it's something a little bit different because in most people's videos, Geordie is the big hero. Bill's going to be our hero.
Now you're saying that, I can't see that happening either.
I can't see us getting into orbit with this ship either, to be perfectly
None
honest.
of the redcoats did really much of note in any of our previous series because we just got them lost in space. I killed them. And that's what's happened again.
There's too much weight on this ship.
Yeah, it's not very good. I thought you said you'd been practicing. I know you said, it was a while ago.
It was a while ago. Well, bear in mind we're still using very basic components. We'll get some signs for this, no doubt. But whether or not we achieve a full orbit, we still might.
It wasn't worth the life of Jebediah.
We still might get an orbit.
Well, mate, I suppose we've got that backup stage, which is enough to sort of deorbit with if needs be.
So,
Let's have a
what sort of thrust would we be looking at to get an orbit?
We want to make sure that the actual distances there are alright.
Yeah, it'd be fine. 50,000, it's not quite ideal.
That's
71.
That'll do. That's a lot of delta V needed.
It is, which is why I'm going to start burning now. It's only a 45-second burn.
It's not bad. Should get it.
And if we don't get it with that, we'll be able to use the backup stage to finish it off.
Yeah, once we get ourselves out of orbit, that should do the trick rather nicely for her. We'll be
I'm
shedding a lot of excess
65,000
weight.
feet, so I'm not getting much atmospheric resistance here, so even though I'm going well early,
Aye.
I may as well.
There's the music kicking in, right on cue. We're doing all right there.
Yeah, absolutely. All good.
Aye, another 10-second burn should do it, and then we've still got enough to deorbit. We want to try and make sure to the best of our ability we don't leave people stranded in space because we struggle to bring them back. We end up usually with then more Kerbals that we then need to try and rescue, who went up to try and rescue the Kerbals that were originally stuck.
So I'm in quite an elliptical orbit here. Nevertheless, I am in orbit.
It's a milestone. I mean, still can't see why Jeb died. I can't quite come to terms with that. However, we have done it, so there has been some success here. So what's the plan then? Get the signs.
Get the signs, because the signs from in Space near Kerbin. Yeah, it's going to be like that all the way, isn't it?
Probably. What's the highest point of orbit, out of interest?
Or do you want to see if I can push it out a bit?
We just have a check on the nav map and see. I'm not sure exactly where it'll change between like near and then like high over. I'm not sure what the actual distance needs to be.
So that's the lowest point of our orbit, so if I were to go there and push it out,
That would probably do it.
and that's only a 9-second burn.
Yeah, I think we could do that, and then we could hit that point and bring where Periap's back down to like 20 to 30, and then we'll come back in. I'd give it a go, get ourselves a good bit of distance out while we're here. Probably
And
not
get
have the
the-
fuel here, but
Yeah, we will have the fuel.
I can get the high, so at least we've got something to show for that horrible, pitiful death at the hands of Cthulhu and dodgy parachutes.
Cthulhu and parachutes. That could be the episode name.
Aye.
Dodgy Cthulhu and parachutes.
Yeah. If that's what indeed the episode that you clicked on is called, that has stuck. It sums it up pretty well, to be honest. Alright.
I'm just skipping forward so that we can get to the point for burning.
Yeah, ticking over.
24th.
There was something else I was going to talk about as well, but I can't remember what that was. It was equally as inane as what I was talking about before.
More inane than Ghost Stories with Alan Robson.
That meant, honestly, you should check it out. I'll give you a link.
It reminds me of the episode of Father Ted where Dougal's reading Gary Lineker's spooky stories or something along that line.
I would read that quite happily as well. Except Gary Lineker would probably be too nice to tell you some ghost stories. Also, I found out that when he's doing football commentary, there was a long-running thing between him and Ricky Gervais where Ricky Gervais was daring him to say stuff in his football commentary when he was doing his football punditry on like Match of the Day and what have you. And for every one that he managed to slip into conversation, Ricky Gervais would then donate like £1,000 to like a local charity of Gary Lineker's choosing. And that went on for some time. I saw like a collection of clips where he'd described things in rather weird terms, and then it later turned out it's because he'd been dead too. I thought it was quite an interesting one.
I ran out of the main fuel, so I'm either going to come around and do another pass using this little fuel tank, or I'm going to see what we get here first.
Check it.
Check it before you wreck it.
Hi.
Yeah. High above Kerbin, so 10 signs from that. We'll pick up the remainder from this canister.
Suits me. It's the way to do it.
We'll do ourselves a crew report. Extra 5 signs. So this hasn't been a total loss.
It's
25 signs from there.
Wanted the high over.
Finally, we will do ourselves an EVA report. 8 signs for that. Shall I have a little bit of a fly around?
If you really want to, it won't achieve anything, but we've got plenty of time.
Now, how do I get the jetpack on? How do I fly this thing? Not to panic you.
Yeah, if you do something stupid here, I'm going to hit you with this coffee cup.
Yeah. You know I can do a little bit of EVA work, it's fine. Well, given that we're out here, I may as well get us on a collision course with the planet.
You love your collision courses. Try doing aero braking. We're trying to do things properly here.
Aero braking takes blooming ages.
It doesn't just drop your periaps down to about 20,000. That's what I mean by aero braking, and then quit it there. Or not. I mean, you know, I thought things were going to be different this time, but we have made some weird spindly-legged rocket that killed Jebediah for no earthly reason.
The rocket didn't kill
stupid
Jebediah.
Parachutes and
The
ballistic
parachute
trajectories.
killed
I mean, as I said before, I can't remember if it was this episode or the last one. The more things change, the more they stay the same. And here we'll go again, careening into planets. What happened to methodical? What happened to purpose-driven? What happened to professional? It's all went
If you
belly up.
wanted professional, you picked the wrong YouTube partner, my friend.
I'm not saying professional. We're not good enough for that, but more a step towards professionalism in terms of what
you're
we're
going to
doing.
just constantly worry about your aero braking, what's the point of packing parachutes, eh?
Well, you still need parachutes because aero braking still leaves you like 20 kilometres off the floor. But you know, it just helps you to slow down. It looks nice. We talked about trying to show people things that they could learn from. You know, if they were playing the game themselves, or give people tips or hints. We don't have many things that we can tell people that they might probably otherwise know if they're playing the game.
Well, there's a time and a place for air braking, but it's not necessary for curbing.
It would just be nice to show it off, to say, look, we've learned something. I know you've just seen we kill people for no apparent reason and do 5 failed launches in the space of like 40 minutes.
I mean, there's two uses for aero braking. There's fuel efficiency, and there's, well, fuel efficiency basically.
Yeah.
Well, the main problem with aero braking, which is why I've decided not to do it this time, is because this video has been getting on a little while. I think it's about time that we start thinking about drawing it to a close, and aero braking slows things down a little bit, to be perfectly honest.
But I cannot argue under those circumstances, but at some point we'll have to show it off.
While you were having a go at me, I was making sure we landed in a nice spot to perhaps catch another surface sample and an extra EVA report. So, purpose driven.
Okay, right, you're bringing us back on board here.
Because if you remember, it was about to dump in the ocean, and I've brought it here to the centre of the continent.
Right, okay. I'll keep you on for another week.
Fantastic. Right, I'm going to skip down to about 1,000 feet.
Don't do anything daft.
There we go.
Whoa.
No, we can skip now that the parachutes have deployed.
No, it was just the explosion going off in the background. I wasn't sure if that was from us or from the bits you decoupled.
So unfortunately, we had a couple of duff runs there. We landed in what I thought was pretty obviously an Antarctic ice cap.
I mean, if you bring snow back, you've been to the Arctic or the Antarctic.
But apparently, no, we were on the shores. We failed to reach the little island to show you guys the Easter egg.
Failed to reach the mountains.
We failed to reach the mountains, killed Jeb, but we did get to space and get the science from there. And while we're here, I'm
Don't explode.
Another EVA report.
In our previous series, Bill did something very similar to that and hit the ground at hundreds of miles an hour.
Yeah, that was another physics glitch as a result of...
What actually does this count
I
as?
just had
Because that
no
wasn't
for
much.
surface sample there. Overwrite existing surface sample. Oh no.
What surface sample have we taken?
We haven't taken a surface sample, have we?
Didn't you just take one there? I mean, we shouldn't have a surface sample because we've been
I
to
thought
space.
it was an EVA report I was doing there. The Highlands. So, take surface sample. But we haven't been to the Highlands yet.
We must have been. We must have scraped across them in one of our aborted crash landings. There, we'll have to review the footage after we've saved things up.
Absolutely.
In any event, a little bit of science.
2.3 from him, but we should get a fair whack from the...
Fingers crossed from
from
the
the
polar
ship.
there.
60.3.
Not to be sniffed at.
Not to be
bad
sniffed
all.
at.
Let's unlock some stuff and then we'll bring this episode to a close, Just as the lights come on at the Space Centre.
R&D department, so we could either afford one of these bad boys,
Alright.
or that, essentially. Fuel systems, external fuel duct.
It could be handy.
I think that'll open up a lot of possibilities to us. In fact, I'm going to say something here. If we get that external fuel duct, I'll get us to the Mun in episode 3.
The challenge has been set.
The challenge has been set.
Pick that bad boy up. Let's do it.
Okay, join us next week for another episode of Geordie Space Program, where we will guaranteed get to the Mun.
Don't listen to Ewok. We'll push for it and we'll see what happens. Alright, just to manage your expectations there. In any event, thank you very, very much for watching. As always, you can visit our YouTube channel if you're not there already, although, well, I suppose you should be there by now anyway. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Get in touch, tell me what you think, that would be nice. And we shall see you in our next video. Thanks for watching, and stay by to watch some buttons coming up if you want to do any of that stuff.
Indeed, thank you for watching the GonzoEwok channel. Click these buttons. Goodbye.